What's cracking, people? It's your man, Cousin T, aka the Alpha Wingman, representing high-level technicians operating globally and beyond. So listen, today I wanted to go over a few things that a lot of men may or may not have known about 100 octane women. But first, I want to do some housekeeping. I had a few inquiries as far as what my workouts look like and basically what my routines are when I'm at the gym or if I'm training outside. So I'm putting together some footage of both in the gym and out of the gym exercises and routines that I do to maintain my fitness and also to quote unquote prep for shows. That'll include the primers, the focus muscle groups, and the finishers as far as what I would put together in a typical routine. So look for that coming soon. I'll premiere it in the Hot House over on Patreon, but then I'll put together some clips so that I can upload it to the YouTube side as well. So this particular video, I'm going to do half and half. I'll leave half up on YouTube, but I'll put the other half on the Patreon side because there is some pretty cool insider information that I think would be given justice on that side of the spectrum. So first of all, before I go into this particular video, I want to give a shout out to BGS IBMOR because he's the one that coined the verbiage regarding the octane system. I think it's a perfect fit for the level of women who men date, marry, and just have on their rosters basically. And the 100 octane woman, from my perspective, not to deviate too much from what BGS IBMOR put out there, is pretty much among the most sought out and sought after women on the planet. And I would say the highest tier for the 100 octane women will range in age from about 18 to 23. Beyond 23, that's when they start to show their age, even though 24 is relatively super young, but they start to expand their perspectives. They start to look to begin settling down and to make other plans, quote unquote, as far as more long-term options for how they make their moves. So like I said, I'll split this up half and half. I basically got between 6 or 7 things that most guys would know about 100 octane women, and I'll leave 3 on the YouTube side and I'll post the rest on Patreon. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first thing most guys probably already know is that their movements are a well-kept secret among the wealthy, powerful, and baller elite. In the words of the immortal Patrice O'Neal, their kitty cats smell like hope. And no truer words have ever been spoken. From my perspective, and in my experience with 100 octane women, it's come from, so let me give you a little background with me. I used to own a promotions company that I ended up dissolving when I got divorced. So I would throw parties all the time. I would fly people in. I worked with multiple management companies and clubs throughout the Chicagoland area. And we would host different promotional nights for various reasons. And we would have reality TV stars come in. We would have sports figures come in, and so along with that crowd, you would get groupies, you would get girlfriends, you would get ballers' wives, you would get all kinds of interesting people that would come in with these groups. So my exposure to 100 octanes is pretty extensive. But beyond that, there's so many things that the average man does not get a chance to look into, and I think right now is one of those key opportunities to give some pretty practical insight. And one of the things that I thought was interesting to highlight is that a lot of 100 octane women are broke. Yes, a lot of them are broke. Shocker. This is because they're mostly being flown around and given maintenance money that they spend on their upkeep, their hair, their makeup, their nails, all kinds of like designer dresses, handbags. Makeup is a huge expense for them. When their sponsors aren't like buying them those designer bags or buying them those like red bottom shoes or whatever, they're taking the money that they get from their sponsors and they're spending it on these things, let alone hotel stays, cabs, Ubers, flights, or whatever. They also like to send money home to their family and friends who aren't living that jet set lifestyle, and a lot of times they'll get lonely on the road and they'll fly their best friend out, and so usually a sponsor is not going to spend money on the 100 Octane's friends, so she ends up having to come out of her own pocket to pay for her friend's accommodation. Another thing to note is that yes, they fart a lot. And what's funny is, I know it sounds goofy, but it's extremely true. And the saying that they walk around like their shit don't stink. Well, it definitely does, because I don't know what it is. I think it's because they feel that they're so pretty that and they're used to guys not checking them on that shit. But anytime I was in the space and they felt like they wanted to let one rip, which is another thing to know about me, when I'm in the mix with any women, I try to make them feel as comfortable and at ease as possible. So I make a lot of fart jokes and I make a lot of playful gestures and things like that, just to make them feel comfortable. Them motherfuckers get way too comfortable, all right? and they try to make a competition. I'm like, all right, stop, cool out, quit playing. Light some candles and incense, some herbs or some shit. But yes, they do that a lot.